dear students, you already know that life process. So life process means the organism which can be live, that is we can regard as the life process. So the life process which includes certain activities, is it? Maybe they can be momentary or some certain activities in our body also, maybe respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system, nervous system, all these we can be concluded with one, that is the life processes. So in these processes we have to the respiration process also. So what is the meaning of respirations? So even plants also respire, animals also respire. So what is the difference between these plants and animals should be respiration through these gases? How have to the lungs should be useful for the respiration of the lungs respiration? All this we can be discussed about in this session. What is the meaning of respiration? How should be the process should be involved in the respiration process? All this we can be discussed here. So first of all, so here the picture is given on fishes. So terrestrial animal and also aquatic animals. So they have to the fishes have to the gill arch and also upper club, but you have the nasal cavity, nostrils and nostrils, so trachea, so that will be helpful for that one. Is it? So here first you can be discussed about what is the introduction, what is the cellular respiration and also types of respiration. So we can be discussed about them briefly in the respiratory human system in the next session. First of all, introduction. So we know that for the photosynthesis process we want to sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and other minerals. So whatever plants should be prepare their own food with the help of carbon dioxide, they evolve of oxygen. That oxygen should be, we can be respire and give out to carbon dioxide. Is it? So respiration is one of the lifelong process. From birth to death also we have to this process. We start from the birth, you are respiring as you are watching the video. All living beings include plant, respire to life. So even animals also and plants also they can be respire to life. So respiration is the breathing in oxygen in the air and breathing down the carbon dioxide from the body. So respiration means it is the breathing of the oxygen in the air and breathing out of the carbon dioxide from the body. So that is it can be general terms you can be tell about it. Is it? So when we take down the oxygen and evolve to the carbon dioxide, so that is we can be called as the respiration, but scientifically it should be different. So here we can discuss about what is the meaning of cellular respiration, what are the types of respiration, so breathing and mechanism of the breathing in human beings. So lastly, respiration in animals. So why do we respire? So you know that cell is one of the structural and functional unit of organism. Any cell of the organism performs certain functions such as maybe nutrition, transportation, excretion and reproduction. Even single cell also, they should be also included in these life processes like a nutrition, transportation, excretion and reproduction. To perform these functions, the cell needs energy. So even single cell also needed to this function, they can be need to the energy. How this energy should be come from? So this energy should be come from the respiration. Is it? Where does this energy come from? So when we eat the food, we already know that for the living purpose we should be depend upon the food. So that food we can be eat as a stored as energy which is released during the respiration. Therefore all living organisms respire to get the energy from the food. So any living organism they can be respire to get energy from the food. So they can be needed to the food for that one, they will release the energy also. So first you can be know about the what is the meaning of cellular respiration. So this is the human body, you can be seen the complex respiration system. So cellular respiration can be defined as the process in which food that we eat broken down inside the cell which result in the releasing of the energy. So scientifically we can be called that one. Whatever we can be take from the food, that complex food should be converted into simpler ones. They along with that one, they should be release the some amount of the energy. That energy should be helpful for the undergo the cellular respiration of the all living organisms. Do we require oxygen during respiration? Yes. So we want oxygen for the during respiration. Is it? So based on the presence of oxygen, respiration is classified two types. One is we can be called as the aerobic respiration, another we can be called as the anaerobic respiration. So what is the meaning of aerobic and anaerobic respiration? So aerobic respiration is those of the terrestrial animals we can be seen in this type of the respiration. Anaerobic respiration is those have to the lower form of the animals. So that should be included in the anaerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration means we can be seen in this kind of the respiration take place in the presence of oxygen. So it leads to release of high amount of the energy in the living organism. So maybe human beings and many other animals should be uses this aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means the organism which can be respired through the oxygen, that is, it can be called as the aerobic respiration. So in respiration it can be this process can be included in our body. We have the 6 glycolysis process. So because here the glucose should be converted into pyruvate, it should release the 2 adenosine triphosphate. Like in pyruvate again it will be converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Then we can be seen in the Krebs cycle, electron transport chain. All these processes they can be release the energy. You have to study about the in higher classes that were Krebs cycle, chemiosmosis. So simply we can be know about what is the meaning of aerobic respiration here. The oxygen that the organism breathe in the react with the carbohydrate present in the food and result in the release of carbon dioxide, water and energy. So we already know that we can be depend upon the food for plants. So the plant should be containing glucose that present in the food. As a result of the when we inhale the oxygen, we can be able to the carbon dioxide, water and energy. So we all know about that one. We have to know the question should arise, is it? How can be the carbon dioxide should be evolved from our body? So because when we eat the food, that glucose should be contained, no? So that should be have to the converted into carbon dioxide. We can be exhaled to that one. So glucose in the presence of oxygen, they can be converted into carbon dioxide, water and energy. So this is we can be called as the aerobic respiration. So related to that one, we have the question here. What is cellular respiration? The process of breakdown of the food in the cell with the release of large amount of the energy, that is we can be called as the cellular respiration. So cellular respiration means the process of breakdown of the food in the cell with the release of the energy is called respiration. Next, second question. End product of the aerobic respiration are sugar and oxygen, carbon dioxide, water and energy, carbon dioxide and hydrogen, water and energy. The correct answer is carbon dioxide, water and energy. Is it? So anaerobic respiration means what? So anaerobic means without supply of the oxygen, then we can define as the anaerobic respiration. This type of the respiration happens in the cells of absence of oxygen as a result in the low amount of energy. So in our body, the muscles. So in the muscles, there is a lack of oxygen in our body. So oxygen should not be supplied for that one. So that in that case, we have to you can be seen in this type of the anaerobic respiration, and also some of the lower animals also we can be seen. Yeast, fungi, that one also can be seen. What is anaerobes? So anaerobes means the organism that can exist in the absence of air. So in case of absence of air, it can be called as anaerobes. They undergo anaerobic respiration, hence can get energy even without oxygen. So they can be also get the energy even without oxygen. So for example, mold, some certain bacteria. So these are the some example of the anaerobes. So next one, yeast. So yeast is also one of the example of the anaerobes. So that is also one of the unicellular organism that exists in the absence of oxygen as well. So like that fermentation process. So as a byproduct, they release the ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. So in the case of yeast, or we can do preparation of the ethyl alcohol also, we can be seen in this type of the anaerobic respiration. Here the yeast should be converted into ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. So they are used in the preparation of the wine and beer, and this process is also called as the alcoholic fermentation. Here they will be decomposed. So without supply of the oxygen, they can be decomposed. Hence we can regard as this alcoholic fermentation. So in the absence of oxygen, glucose also break down into alcohol and carbon dioxide. So maybe in case of in our body, so whatever the muscles are there, that should be also can be called as the anaerobic respiration. So in the absence of oxygen, also glucose should be also converted into ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide, and energy should be released. So in case we have some exercises we can do. So for example, running race, so weightlifting, cycling, running. So all these we can be needed to our muscles should be have to the work to that one. They respire without oxygen in this case, maybe cycling or it can be go to the running, weightlifting. So generally what happens means when we undergo heavy exercise such as maybe running, weightlifting, cycling or walking for the long duration, the muscles require more energy and supply oxygen is not enough. So when we do to this type of the physical exercises, the muscles require to the generally more energy. The supply of oxygen is not enough. So then what happens? Whatever glucose is there, that should be present in our body. So anaerobic respiration takes place in that muscles. As a result, muscles produce the lactic acid along with the energy. The glucose or glycogen, whatever glycogen is there, they can be converted into lactic acid, and lactic acid along with the energy should be released. So glucose in the case of the absence of oxygen, they can be reduced to lactic acid and energy. So lactic acid is also accumulating in the muscles and causes damage. Why it should be, sometimes it should be the pain means because of the excess amount of the lactic acid should be accumulating in our muscles, and it should be causes the cramp also. So in order to get relief from the cramps, we can take the hot water bath or massage our muscles. So generally you know that when we do to the any physical exercises like that, so generally we have the hot water bath or should be massage to our muscles, because hot water bath or massage should be improve the blood circulation in our muscles. So why do we do to this hot water bath or massage means? Because it should be improve the blood circulation in the muscles. As a result, oxygen should be supplied all the cells easily, which break down the lactic acid into carbon dioxide and water. So related to that one, we have one question here. Which of the following organism can respire anaerobically? So amoeba, yeast, euglena, paramecium. The correct answer is yeast. The second question. In yeast, alcoholic fermentation result through aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, photosynthesis. So the correct answer is anaerobic respiration. Is it?
To understand the process of breathing, in humans, the main organs responsible for respiration are present in the thoracic cavity. In the thorax region, the rib cage and a dome-shaped fibrous tissue, known as the diaphragm, are observed. Present within the rib cage are the pleural membranes, which enclose the lungs. The right lung is divided into 3 lobes: the right superior, right middle, and the right inferior lobe. The left lung is smaller and has only 2 lobes, the left superior and the left inferior lobe. Both the lungs are associated externally with small tubular bronchi, which unite and extend into the trachea. The trachea has incomplete C-shaped rings of cartilage, which prevent the tracheal wall from collapsing. The trachea leads into the pharynx, which is connected to the nostrils. As we breathe in air, the oxygen molecules enter the nostrils and travel downwards through the pharynx and trachea to finally reach the bronchi. From each bronchus, oxygen travels into the lungs. Within the lungs, the bronchus divides repeatedly to form bronchioles. Oxygen travels through these bronchioles and reaches the alveoli, each of which is surrounded by a network of capillaries. A section of one alveolus shows the presence of numerous alveolar chambers with pores. Blood containing RBCs is seen flowing through the capillaries. The oxygen molecules from the alveolus diffuse into the capillary and then get absorbed by the bluish-purple RBCs. This causes oxygenation of the RBCs, and a transition in their color from bluish-purple to red is observed. The blood moving into the alveolus contains RBCs and carbon dioxide molecules. These molecules are released into the alveolus. The carbon dioxide collects in the alveolar chamber. And then from the alveolus, it travels through the bronchioles into the bronchus, which finally reaches the trachea and is breathed out through the nostrils. So the process of breathing in air rich in oxygen is called inhalation. After the contraction of the muscular diaphragm, the lungs expand and the air rushes in, resulting in the inflation of the alveoli. During exhalation, the diaphragm moves up and the lungs contract. Thus, the alveoli deflate, causing the air to be forced out. This exhaled air is rich in carbon dioxide. This process of inhalation and exhalation is known as respiration, which is approximately 20 times per minute. Summary. In the thorax region, the rib cage and the diaphragm are observed, which play a vital role in respiration. Present within the rib cage are the pleural membranes, which enclose the lungs. The right lung consists of 3 lobes, while the left lung has only 2 lobes. Both the lungs are associated externally with bronchi, which unite and extend into the trachea. As we breathe, the oxygen molecules enter the nostrils and travel downwards through the pharynx and trachea to finally reach the bronchi. From each bronchus, oxygen travels into the lungs. Within the lungs, the bronchus divides repeatedly to form bronchioles. Oxygen travels through these bronchioles and reaches the alveoli, each of which is surrounded by a network of capillaries. As blood flows through the capillaries, the oxygen molecules from the alveolus diffuse into the capillary. This causes oxygenation of the RBCs. The carbon dioxide molecules are released into the alveolus. They are collected in the alveolar chamber, and then from the alveolus, it travels through the bronchioles. Into the bronchus, which finally reaches the trachea and is breathed out through the nostrils.